personal attitude is on what we are doing. Psalm 84 speaks to us with the sense that our heart is truly happy in the house of the Lord as we believe in, follow, and praise God who gives us our strength. The first verse speaks this sentiment so clear. How dear to me is your dwelling, O Lord of hosts. My heart and my flesh rejoice in the living God. Paul in his letter to 2 Timothy, or in 2 Timothy, sorry, there was only one Timothy, so Paul in his letter to Timothy the second time uses the I language to set before the Lord and those who follow him that he has kept the faith and fought the fight. Paul lifts up the Gentiles, even though in his heart of hearts he wants to minister to the Jews. He gives all credit to God, who gives him the strength to proclaim the message. He also believes whatever he receives from God is available to everyone, to all believers, not just for Paul. Now, Paul can come across as a very confident, almost strident person of God. I think he's a little bit like Bishop Curry. Have you ever seen Bishop Curry preach? I don't know why they put a pulpit up there, because he's all over the place. If you've ever watched any YouTube videos of him, I don't know how the camera keeps up, to be honest, because he really is a very lively speaker, preacher of the Word. And I picture Paul was sort of like that as well. Outside of grabbing people by the collar and, do you believe? He had a very forceful way, perhaps, of speaking the Word. But in his heart, he was humble because he's been on the other side. Paul states clearly, from now on there is reserved for me in the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will give me, and not only to me, but also to all. He knew he'd been doing the work, but he didn't say, well, this is just for me because I've been doing all the work. No, it's for everybody. Everyone's included. Just think, he started inclusivity before we got a hang of it. Imagine. In our parable in Luke today, we hear two men praying. One, a Pharisee, the other, a tax collector. The man of the law, the Pharisee, lifts himself up to God with the I statement. God, I thank you that I am not like other people, even this tax collector. The tax collector prays for himself, keeping his focus on God's mercy. He may not even have noticed the Pharisee. The tax collector humbly says, God, be merciful to me, a sinner. So as we present ourselves to God each day, and perhaps several times each day, let's try to humbly stand in need of God's prayer, in need of his mercy and his guidance. Our secular society would have us stand a little differently about our accomplishments, about our goals, about who we are. And perhaps secular society might misinterpret humbleness for weakness. And I believe in the church, humbleness is strength. At this time of year, as we begin to think about pledging our time and talents back to God to build his kingdom, let's be sure we are not looking around to see what our friends are doing. We do not need to keep up with the Joneses in order to maintain the kingdom. When choosing to give, God is not looking at the amount on the check, but the attitude of the heart of the giver. So if you know that your good friend in the church has given this amount, you don't have to meet that or supersede it at all, because it's a personal conviction of what you give. I've told the vestry, I don't want to know what you give. That's not something I need to know. That's something that comes from you, your heart, your situation. Now, if you're struggling, then talk to the vestry and find out what you can do. To not give at all would hurt more than one. Because remember, your giving, especially financially, helps keep the light on and the AC running, right? Keeps the place open for people to, in several groups, use our facility. So we depend on giving, but we don't necessarily believe you have to give the same amount as somebody else. When we look back on all that we have done for the church in the last year, the point would not be how many committees we have been on, but in humility, we would look back and see which ones we served and how we served each person we encountered through the year, either here or outside of these four walls. Do we speak with pride at all we've done? Or are we proud of how we intentionally shared Christ with love and forgiveness each day to others? As the sparrow and swallow have found a nest, are we humbly happy to call St. Christopher at the Crossroads our church home? Well, of course, we may not always be happy. Not everyone has happiness all the time, even in church. But is this home? As we open our hearts to welcome the diversity of the world to walk through our doors, let's try not to think of ourselves better than others because we are Christians, or we are male or female, or educated. No. I encourage us to humbly present ourselves to God by saying, God, be merciful to us, sinners. Amen. Amen.